Okay. Here we are.
Here we are.
Katharine McPhee on Soul Sisters. Hi.
Hi. Are you guys the Soul Sisters?
Yes, we are. And,
Cute.
well, you are supposed to be the Soul Sister.
To
That's
you.
Or
the
all of
table,
us.
the
all the
circle.
viewers, the
Yeah.
listeners.
Right. It's a
This
triangle
room,
of
actually.
soul.
I like it. I fall in love too easily.
I'm very excited that you're here. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
Huge fan.
We're both huge fans.
Yes. Yes. And Dara is too. I go further back. Actually, I don't know if that's
you don't
true.
go further back.
Well-
you go. She's a Smash fan. Despite being a huge musical theater nerd, somehow it just
You
didn't
missed
penetrate.
Smash.
I missed
You missed
it.
Oh, okay.
You missed it.
You missed
I missed it. But
Mishmash.
is it on a streaming thing?
I'm
now?
sure you can watch it
Okay, because
somewhere.
Gosh, I don't know.
it'll happen sometime. I'll come back around. But I was an American Idol fan, so I don't know if you were
yeah.
as well.
So I was. So that was the only season I ever watched fanatically.
Good season.
Well, it was
Like
the
to the point where I was
biggest season they ever
texting
had.
my vote.
Is that true?
Season 5 was the biggest Idol season
Oh,
ever.
there you go.
I know. I feel kind of
That's
special.
pretty
That
cool.
is special.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to do with it, but it was just like the
I don't know
timing.
if that's true.
I think 5 seasons, like it was just that. I don't know, that time. It was.
Yeah.
It just really kind of. Anyway.
I mean, for me, I think it was my first year out of college, and I like made it a routine with another friend of mine who had just moved to New York, where we would like get together that
And
night to
everyone would
watch it
watch it.
together.
Yeah.
But it was also you. It definitely was you for me.
Absolutely.
Because I was rooting for you, and then I was like so invested in you winning.
It was just like it was just a perfect.
It was a good group of people.
They had like a nice cast, right? They had like the rocker and the
Right.
like the
all
silver-haired
played
fox.
your
I
little
don't
niche
remember,
part.
but
guy.
I had to look it up, but I couldn't believe who.
Taylor Hicks.
Yeah.
I know.
And like Kelly Pickler was the country bumpkin. It was like the perfect
Oh,
little.
that was her season 2.
Yeah, we had a
Whoa.
pretty great season.
That's
It's
crazy.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something that you said on the season, and I wonder if you live by these words. You said this
Oh gosh.
at the time because
From
it seemed
what, 12 years ago?
It was wonderful advice. I think it's the best advice and also might be the hardest to sort of keep as
Right.
an artist or as anybody. But you said the less pressure you put on yourself, the greater the shot.
Ooh, that sounds really like.
Which I think is like a
Thoughtful
really
and-
thoughtful, great piece of advice.
I'm wondering if
Yeah,
that's true.
I think that that's true. I do. I mean, I also think now, like the perspective that I have is work as much as you. If you want to be in entertainment, like if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a singer, this is just start trying to work as much as you possibly can, because the experience is really what primes you for the experiences that you really want to be ready for. And like with Idol, you know, I thought of it as a TV show because I knew that producers were looking for cast of characters. And so I looked at it as like, I'll create a little bit of a story, you know, and my mom was the voice coach and I was like always taking voice lessons, which was just completely not true.
Really?
No, I was kind of like a lazy singer. I just,
That's so
I
funny.
was naturally like a talented singer. But it wasn't something that I could have worked much harder at it. And I worked hard in the last 10, 12 years post Idol, but leading up to it, I mean, I really wish that I had pushed myself. I was kind of shy in that regard, pushed myself to get out there and perform in front of audiences, because that's where you learn. That's where you hone your craft. It's the same with, you know, people going to school for acting. Like, I just don't know, like if you really think you're gifted at acting, I wouldn't necessarily say like the best thing for you to do is to go to school and study acting. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just think that when you're in the field, like going to auditions and messing up, and that's where you learn.
Yeah.
So
So where were you when you discovered the range and possibility and power of your voice? Because that doesn't happen
when I
at home.
sang it, oh no, it does. I mean, yeah, when you're listening to Celine Dion and trying to sing the
Yeah.
notes that she sings, that's
And you
definitely.
belt it out that much.
Oh,
You're just like, I can do it.
I really have learned also that I can't really do that well. Like,
Belting?
not really. Like, I mean, I can, but it's not necessarily what I'm good at. I mean, I just put out this jazz record called "I Fall in Love Too Easily," and it's
We would have
this-
gotten there. Don't worry.
No, I know. That was just a natural segue. But it's like a romantic love song. I mean, it's super smoky and jazzy and sexy and romantic. And I mean, when I sing live, yeah, sure, I have these songs that have little moments where they swell. And
Yeah, but you had to belt on Smash.
I did, but
And
it
you
didn't.
did it.
It doesn't come.
Okay.
I mean, naturally. I
Right.
mean, I'm not like
It's like a
Ethel
natural
Merman,
setting.
you know, where it's like, I've just, because I remember the first time I tried to sing Don't Rain on My Parade, you know,
Yeah.
Don't Tell Me Not to Fly, I Simply, and I was like, wow, this is a really hard song. I didn't realize how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Nobody, no, nobody. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you're not a Broadway
Get
geek,
it.
you won't know that song, but.
How much did going toe to toe with Megan Hilty on Smash like push you to that though? Because I feel like that is her
She's
natural
a big,
setting.
big voice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's just what I had. I mean, I knew it was about Broadway, and Broadway sometimes you have to sing these big songs. And I love it. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
don't get me wrong, I love it. It's just, as far as me as an artist making a record, it's not like I wouldn't make a big band Broadway record. Like, it's got to be more swingy and more nuancy. But
With a modern feel. There's like a jazzy feel, but also still a modern
yeah.
sensibility to
That's
it.
really important to me. Well, it's important to anybody to be authentic to who you are. Because my influences were like Whitney and Celine and Mariah and God, who else? Like Alanis Morissette and Sarah McLachlan, and I mean, like these really soul torchy singers. But my mom was a cabaret singer, so like she was a voice teacher by day and cabaret singer at night. So she sang all these old standards, these like jazzy standards. She didn't sing it jazzy, but I just sort of developed this way of singing this kind of older music in a more contemporary way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah. Does your mom still performs, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
I think I saw you like tweeting out about her show or
gotta
something.
support the mom.
Yeah,
you know.
totally. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she goes around and does some shows. And
Yeah.
She teaches like crazy. She's always busy.
Yeah.
When you got to a point where you're on TV for Idol, did they say, we need a story for you? Like, what's your story? Or did you know going in, I need to create something?
No, I
Yeah,
just
that's a good
remember
question.
like I knew I was going through all the rounds. They were like taking me to the next round, and then I got a call saying they want to do a hometown package with you, is what they called it, a hometown package. And I knew they wanted to come to the house with the producers and do like behind the scenes. It's like the sort of reality part of the show.
Right.
So I was like, you know, I remember my mom and I talking about it and, you know, planning, okay, well, they'll have us in the voice, like in her voice studio.
You're my student.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I remember doing like the mother-daughter, like frustrated thing where I'm like, oh, Mom, yeah. It's totally.
Was there truth to that, though?
Not really. I mean, yeah, sure, but I didn't take voice lessons from my
Really,
mom.
at all?
Really, no, I would like every once in a while. But again, it's like one of those things where if you have what's another? No, I'm just saying, like, what's another example of a parent who's a movie producer? The kid doesn't necessarily want to be on movie sets every day. You know,
Fair.
it's
Sometimes
just
it can be the opposite.
Yeah, I probably could come up with a better
No, that
comparison,
makes sense.
but
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean, well, any profession. Like if your parent's a doctor, you're probably not dying to like
And then you normally
Become
do
a
end
doctor.
up
In the
becoming
ER,
a doctor.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It gets ingrained in you.
Right.
Yeah.
So for this record, was it a natural progression? Because your previous records have been more sort of straight
Pop
ahead
record.
pop, sort of more traditional pop. And was there like pushback on your decision to go more old worldy kind of?
on my part,
American
no.
Songbook?
There was never like
Not on your part.
No, there was no pushback. What happened was I'm on a show on CBS called Scorpion. We're in our 4th season. A lot of people like still don't know. You know, it's like there's so much TV out there.
It's
so
too
always
much.
they'll be like, "What show are you on?" I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, it's on its 4th season." They're like,
They're like,
"What?"
it's still on. Yeah.
But no, I did CBS had a Grammy special for Frank Sinatra's 100th birthday about 2 years ago, and I got asked to present at it, and I was like, you know, thank you, but no thank you. It's like right after Thanksgiving holiday season, and for me to try and see if I can get off work from shooting, it just would be a lot of effort for me to be up there for 30 seconds to introduce another artist, you know, to say like, this next artist is,
Right.
you know, for 30 seconds, it just wasn't worth my, but I was like, but I'll sing if you need me, like wink, wink. And it was to the booker, like my manager passed it around. And I knew like, there's no way. 'Cause they had everyone from like Lady Gaga to Tony Bennett to Celine Dion to John Legend singing at this Grammy special. You know, it was like A-listers of.
Well, you don't put yourself. I mean, it's hard to say.
No.
Probably, but I would put you.
Well, that's
Yeah.
nice. But
Yeah.
no, I don't. I mean, like, no. I mean, I have like one thing about me is I've always had a real strong sense of reality. And it doesn't mean that I
Or
don't.
humility.
Yeah. I mean, it's also not that I like don't believe in myself or
Sure.
think that like it could be possible. I just know what it is. So, but anyway, so I just kindly said like, you know, but if you need someone to sing a song, because like I know all those songs so well, and they said, you know, it's a no for now, and I wasn't like, oh, what? I was like, okay, well, I'm busy, I'm working, and then on Sunday after Thanksgiving, I got this like urgent email saying they didn't say someone fell out, but I figured someone did. And they needed someone to sing in this medley, this opening number medley with me and John Legend and Adam Levine and Harry Connick Jr. And they said, it's in the key of A. You make me feel so young. And I was like, yes. Hold on. Let me look at my shooting schedule. I happened to be off that day. And I said, yes. And then I was in Las Vegas, like before I knew it, rehearsing. And I met Don Was backstage, who's a really prolific music producer.
Yeah.
He's, accomplished a lot in his life. And he was helping me learn. They actually threw me in on another song with John Legend. And I think that's like when the idol stuff or experiences, years of just kind of having to show up and sing and do shows, whether there's 10 people there or 1,000 people there.
Or a million people watching.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you're ready for the occasion. And I just really showed up for the occasion. And Don was like, I want to make a record with you with this music. And I was like, yeah, I mean... I should have been doing
this. I mean, a
this.
producer like that, you'd probably say yes to whatever direction he wants to take it in, right?
So, yeah, it was kind of like I think I've been wanting that or needing that, but I just kind of kept thinking, oh, make a pop record, because that's the music I do love, but it just never. I always felt like it just never really. Each record I put out was like, yeah. I like it. There's things I like about it, but I was never like 100% solid behind it, I think, know.
Yeah.
And this is like really kind of where I know I'm going to kind of live and breathe. And
yeah. And your Smash
Good
fans
stuff.
are going to really appreciate
Yeah.
it. So we were having a debate earlier about your description of this album as one to make out to, because I totally feel that and would love to make out with someone to this album. Dara is a little on the fence about that. So it's like, it's an interesting thing
about... It's the
about
lyrical thematic stuff that I just question. And I haven't,
like
she thinks it's a little dark to make out to.
A little sad. A little bit
Some
of
of it
like
is
a little
sad.
melancholy, a little sad. Who can I turn to is a sort of sadder
yeah, that is a sadder song.
My mom, Blame It on My Youth is kind of makes me sad.
Oh, it
I mean,
does?
it's beautiful, but it's just like...
It's like, to me, it's so like naive and heart. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because
How about Night
especially
and
with
Day?
This music, Night and Day, come on.
But
It's
it's
nothing
true.
like
Some
Night
of
and
them do have like a sort of, but that's why, and maybe that's just my thing that I do with this kind of music. This music makes me feel so nostalgic, and there is some
romantic
sort of like yearning, heartbreaking, even if it's the lyric is like, even Smile, for instance. I didn't put that on the record, but everyone loves to sing Smile. Smile, though your heart is achy. Smile. It's the melody that it sounds like it's sad.
It is sad.
Yeah.
I mean,
when there are clouds in the sky, I'll get by. It's just the melodies kind of but that's the like I think I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I think I like
Wait, this
I
reminds
like
me.
the love that got away.
I love that stuff.
No, I know. No, I just think it's interesting.
Don't get it twisted, girl.
It doesn't put me
Like,
in a
what
sexy,
can you make out
and
to?
it doesn't make...
Wait, so I thought of a weird question I wanted to ask you.
You can
guys
make out to
today.
Michael Bublé. It's like no.
Yeah, well, sure. Whatever
I
floats
haven't
your
thought
boat.
about like what is a make-out record.
No, I
I don't know. It's
Wait, but
interesting.
I have a question for you guys. So I was thinking about like when you guys sing "That's Life" and Smash. It's like one of my favorite numbers from that show.
It's pretty great.
That one is so fucking
wait.
good.
Even I thought it was
If you
great.
want to see like two just like crazy powerhouse talents go toe to toe, and like on the show it's about their competition and also like getting over it and coming together, and just like watching the two of you sing just the life out of that song is insane. But so I was rewatching it on YouTube, and there's a key change in that song, and I, I was thinking this morning, like that key change like turns me on. Like there's something
Totally get
about
that.
like an amazing
Absolutely.
key change that like gives you goosebumps and like gives you butterfly. It's like that feeling.
That's the power. That's
Yeah.
the power of music.
Which
That's
is
just that like.
So you know what I'm
melodic,
saying
harmonic-
when I say
absolutely,
okay.
absolutely,
It's like a crazy thought.
that's what I'm saying. Like this music, it does so many things to me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because I do like sort of think about these kinds of songs as story in a more of a storytelling way than maybe other pop songs.
Oh, they totally are storytelling.
right.
Yeah.
And so I sort of pay attention more than I would to like
That makes
other
sense.
records.
Yeah, so you almost want like to not be thinking
think
about
about
something when
so
your mind
sort of-
yeah,
right.
making out.
Yeah, and I wonder if for you, coming from a background that's not necessarily like singer-songwriter, you're not, you didn't start as a songwriter.
No.
If that sort of has freed you in your career from people trying to like put the autobiographical stuff and wonder like, oh, is this from her life?
Yeah, that's why I think this record is sort of autobiographical if it can be, just because it's like it's songs that my mom sang a lot that are like her students would sing. So they're ones that there's like a handful of other songs that I'm super familiar with too that I could make another record similar to this just with different songs. But I mean, obviously I didn't write them, but there is an element to them being sort of autobiographical just because they remind me of things in my childhood, or you know, I picked I Fall in Love Too Easily as the title track because it's like in the last 2 years of my life, like it's really true, like I've dated people, and it's like my friends have made so much fun of me because after 2 weeks I've been like, I think we're gonna get married. And then like a week later I'm like, oh no, he's crazy. Like literally, you know.
Wait, that's unusual for someone who's been through a divorce, right? Like
unusual?
Isn't it?
Yeah, well,
to fall in love too easily?
Here's the thing is that
to not have so much armor up, like that you can still.
Well, that's what you think, right? Because like I've also on the flip side been like, I'm never getting married again.
Right.
But I dated somebody he was the lead on my show, and like we had a total world. I mean, you know, we were like totally in love, and I, you know, still really close with him and stuff. But when we broke up, is what I'm saying. So I've had like a good 5 years now since I've been actually married. But now I'm like getting more open. But I'd say the last 2 years, I've been more open to the idea of marriage. Like when I meet like a nice guy, I think just because he's nice that I should marry, like and that's not the case. There has to be so many things that work, you know.
But that's so nice to be that open to it.
I guess.
That's a great thing.
That's why I wrote I fall in love too easily. I mean,
unless you're getting hurt all the time because of it.
No, I'm not hurting myself too much.
Okay.
I may have hurt a couple people.
Yeah. Okay, but you're fine.
But you know, I'm only being honest. I'm always just being really honest.
Yeah.
But I think that's also part of the beauty of these songs is like, you don't need to write I Fall in Love Too Easily. It's been written and it's perfect and it's impeccable and you can sing that.
I can
convey that, you know?
And it's everyone's different take on it, you know?
Yeah. How did you pick Sooner or Later?
So my sister, that's why, again, like every song that I picked, my sister, I never even remember seeing Dick Tracy, the movie. But I remember Madonna singing that song. I think it was like the end of the movie title track or whatever.
Because she plays, what's her character's name? Breathless Mahoney.
Oh, I mean,
is that right?
Good one. I don't know.
My sister is like 2 years older than me, so I remember her being obsessed with that movie and that song.
Yeah.
And it became, you know, Stephen Sondheim wrote that song, so it was like,
which I didn't know until I just looked it up before you came on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because that song's amazing.
Because it's like so interesting and I, you know, Dawn and I, we never had any, I mean, there was no arguments, but the only thing I was like, really? Okay, well, I'm not sure, because I had this whole thing about singing music. Like, it's nice to do a really cool, sultry, soft, romantic record, but how does that translate to live? You know, like how do you have something that people, because I always have this thing like less is more, and I always feel like people get bored and whatever. That's my own insecurities but again, I think less is more, and so to be up there for 80 minutes opposed to 60 minutes is way better choice. So I was always thinking like, well, how does this translate live? And he was like, you need to not worry about that, because you can change these songs however you want to do them live.
Different arrangements.
He says, but when people put a record on, you got to set a mood for them. It can't just be all over the place. So our only little, and I don't want to say disagreement, it's not the word, it's just discussion, was we're not going to do like any big, like, you know, you're not doing a show tunes record, and you're not doing like a big band record. That's not what this is. And so, but I still brought in all these song choices, and I said, you may not like this song because it could be this like Broadway-esque kind of number. Yeah. And he's like, well, let's listen to it. And he's like, I don't know which version I played him. I don't think he liked Madonna's version, but he's like, I kind of like the song. So we just got in the studio and we started playing around with the great jazz players and came up with this sort of fun. And by the way, it's great live because it can go a little bigger live.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, in the movie, I think Madonna is doing a little bit of a caricature of a lounge singer. Sure, it's almost like very breathy.
It's like almost like Marilyn Monroe-esque.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
To revisit that movie. That's a fun one.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Wait, did I just make that? Oh, I was just thinking. Right before you said Marilyn Monroe, I was thinking
Roger
Rabbit.
He was in Dick Tracy, wasn't he?
Roger Rabbit?
Wasn't he a character in
now
the...
I'm so lost. We're
No.
talking about Dick Tracy and Madonna.
Yes.
I think
singing-
Roger
No.
Rabbit was in...
I just confused everybody. You were about to say Marilyn Monroe, but
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say
Didn't-
Jessica Rabbit,
Oh, no, I
which
said...
is why I went to Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay. I said Marilyn Monroe.
You said Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe.
Okay.
Sorry.
We have it on video. We know we did.
Yeah.
Replay.
No filter here. Anyway, yes, but you're able to, like breathe more life into it and more voice into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, you are about to perform these live at the Carlisle.
I am.
And
Yeah.
did you sell out your dates?
I
there?
did. I mean, I'm like, I did.
Yeah. What?
So it's
No,
like...
this is amazing.
She's
Let me
saying
tell
it
you
because
why.
we want to go.
People are like,
'Cause we wanna
promote Kyla. I'm like, why would I promote it?
Yeah,
if
you
it's
can't
like,
get in.
yeah.
No, but I want to mention it just because we have a lot of Carlisle performers on this show, and there's always this conversation that we have also with like our friends at the Carlisle that it's tricky to figure out how to fill that room these days.
Really?
To find, unless you get like these older performers who've been around forever or kind of fixtures
Yeah, I'm
of the
impressed
room.
that, I mean, I don't know 80 people in New York. So there's a part of me that goes, well, it's a tiny room. Like, that'd be embarrassing if I couldn't sell it out. But at the same time,
No, but it happens. You know,
yeah,
sometimes
we're doing
they
5
have,
shows. So
yeah. No, I
there
think
might-
you're probably the right mixture of like, you're young, people are still excited about you, but like the stuff that you're singing
It's
is
old,
also
new, old
appealing
world.
to the people who are like staying at the Carlisle, and you know, it's kind of like checking off all the boxes. Like you're kind of that ideal talent for them to book in that
thanks.
room. Like,
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
so I'm banking on it.
Exactly.
Start a whole new career. A residency at the Carlisle.
Yeah.
no, but that'll be a great room for you to
Yeah.
sing these in because it's so small.
Yeah.
You can be as intimate with these songs as you want.
No, I know. It's
Yeah.
like the cutest little room.
yeah, yeah.
When you're in the cycle of shooting your show, Scorpion, how much do you get to sing, and like when does the missing singing and performing in that way like trickle in?
I miss it. I mean, I miss it a lot. But I mean, thankfully, because I've been working on this record for the last since I met Dawn, it took much longer than it probably should have. But I mean, I get to sing at work, like in between takes and in my
Really?
yeah. I mean,
Just for fun.
just for fun. Like, I mean, I don't even necessarily. I'm not doing it for anybody.
Yeah.
It's just that unfortunately they have to be
Fortunately, yeah.
to listen to it. I mean, they seem to. I'm pretty silly on set, so it's like we all kind of chime in together. But as far as I'm not missing it so much right now because I'm getting to do it.
Right.
Like I'm doing. I did this whole week coming up in New York, and I do shows in LA, and
Like,
I've
what's
been
the biggest gap for you that you've like haven't performed music that you're like
probably
oh my God.
6 months or something.
that's
You know,
long,
like where I
yeah.
don't have like a corporate gig or something like that. Even a corporate gig is like fun to do. You
Sure.
know? I mean, you get paid
Right.
nicely, but it's just the performing aspect of it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
You know, and just getting to kind of flex your muscles and be in a
Right.
different city. And I love to see cities that way. Like I'm doing a PBS special over the New Year's Eve break in Hungary
Whoa.
for some like famous violin player. I'm singing like 2
amazing.
songs, and
And you're gonna be in Hungary, and that's amazing.
It's a great
Right.
way to see a city.
Yeah. What's the next like musical muscle you'd like to flex that you haven't gotten to yet?
You know, I'm gonna I really want to stay in this wheelhouse. So
Yeah.
I'm just really hoping that you know, this record has some legs for the next year where I can just I was doing when I came off Smash, because there was so much music element to it, I was really doing a lot of symphony shows where I was kind of combining my like pop music with the symphony, and you know, that was fine. It was a great way to stretch my muscles as a performer, but I really want to sing this music with a big symphony, big orchestra.
That'd be amazing.
So to start doing more symphony shows, because you know, all you have to bring is like your 3-piece band, your piano, your bass, your drums, and then you have this glorious symphony behind you. I mean, the New Orleans Jazz Festival, I really like to be. I mean, the more I can just keep performing, and then I guess, you know, we'll see how this goes, but then I'll get back in the studio. I mean, like literally I already started making lists of songs that could be on a new record. I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Amazing.
So the album's out. It
Yeah.
just came out last week.
just came out. It's number 1 on iTunes in the jazz charts.
Hey, not
We're
too
very excited.
shabby.
I know.
No, that's great. And this episode will post in a few weeks, but I just want to say, like, this is an album that you should gift to everybody. that
Absolutely.
you know.
And I want to be
Good timing
clear,
for this
like,
album.
It's gorgeous.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dara's not making out to it, but she's using
Maybe
it
I will
as
now.
a
Fine.
part of her life.
You
Now
know,
I will. Now
there's
you're
a
gonna
reason
prove
why
me
there's
wrong.
31 flavors. But no, but I don't disagree with you. Like, there's definitely a melancholy.
Sure, right. But that doesn't take away from the power and beauty, and
Yeah.
it's just gorgeous.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's called I Fall in Love Too Easily, as she does. She just admitted.
Try not to.
Yeah. No, it's good.
But
Let
I've been
your heart be
I've been a
open.
single girl. It's been great.
No.
So I fall in love too
Live it up.
easily, but I've managed to.
You always land
like-
on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And you're going to perform live in our office now.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
am.
exciting. So we will get to see you.
Yes.
Carlisle be damned. See it here at Billboard.
We'll also go to the Carlisle.
Yeah, we'll
hopefully.
sneak in.
Yeah.
We'll find a way. They
Come
can't keep us
Saturday night,
out.
the late night show.
Awesome.
Boom.
It might be
Okay.
soon.
Okay. Catherine McPhee, thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
your time.